May 21st meeting to order by roll call, please.
Smith present.
Formanek present.
Newman present.
Ward present.
Cranston present.
Those who are able, please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may notice that we look a little bit different tonight, so we'd like to welcome Ron Formanek and Patricia Ward to the board, and congratulations for winning your elections.
Thank you.
All right.
And congratulations to David for winning his.
Correct, yes. He's an old timer, so.
Obviously, you don't count anymore, David.
So we have some minutes to approve that the two of you were not around for, so we can handle those now. If you have a chance to review minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of May 7th.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Cranston,
Newman, aye.
I'd also make a motion to approve our executive session minutes, but not to be released right away.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Newman, aye.
Cranston, aye.
All right. So, first up on our agenda is the reorganization of the board. Does anybody have a chance to think about that?
I would make a motion to nominate Kirsten to continue as the chair of the select board. I like the idea of the continuity, and I think she's done a really good job this past year.
Thank you.
I will second that.
All right. All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formanek, aye.
Newman, aye.
Ward, aye.
That would be really bad if it didn't go.
You're supposed to go next.
Cranston, aye.
All right.
Holy crap.
And I would make a motion to have David continue on as our vice chair, if he is so willing.
I would be willing to continue with that duty.
All right.
You
Second.
actually do.
I said it'd make you look good.
I don't think so.
It's not working, is it?
Not at all. I would second that.
All right. All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formanek, aye.
Newman, aye.
Ward, aye.
Cranston, aye.
All right. That was easy. Thank you all very much. All right. Next up, I'm going to consider the acceptance of, yes.
There is actually a clerk.
Oh,
Now that we're, all right. Anybody wanting to be the clerk?
I was the clerk, wasn't I?
You were the clerk. Would you like to continue on as the clerk?
I shot the clerk.
I would make a motion that Maureen Cranston continue on as clerk, if she is willing.
It was a very difficult job.
Yes.
What is it that you do?
Nothing. Carmen does it all.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formanek, aye.
Newman, aye.
Ward, aye.
Cranston, aye.
All right. Next up, I'm going to consider the acceptance of cell site on wheels, or COW, offer from Verizon for the fair. So, does anybody have any?
In your packet.
Yeah.
The fair has gone through this. I know that I think either Sergeant Ferguson or Lieutenant Fugere have also been involved in this. I know they turned over some information relative to the amount of cars that are entering there to get an idea. Have to get a little bit more information on some of the logistics after, but you know, at this point, it's free to the town and would boost some of the cell service on location. Anytime you get that many people, it's really a draw on the existing towers. So this would boost that.
Yep. And I assume we'll be getting that certificate of insurance. I don't know that we would have that as of yet.
No, we can't get it until the 1st of July.
Okay.
I just have one. Are we sure it's free?
Fair committee is short, but yes, we will not go through with it if it is not, but at this point, everything points to yes. Yeah, they have to provide the insurance to us, and then we have to give them theirs. Give them our version too, for the fair.
I would make a motion that we accept the cow from Verizon for the fair, with the understanding that we get the certificate of insurance, and it's actually at no cost to the town.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formatic, aye.
Newman, aye.
Ward aye.
Grant's and I.
And up next, selecting the alternate for MRPC representation. So there is a representative from the planning board. I have been the representative for select board. I'm happy to continue on as my husband is the representative for the planning board, so it's very easy for us to get it all done.
Hot night out.
But if anybody is really itching to be that representative, now's your chance. Otherwise, I don't mind continuing on.
Have at it.
I'll make a motion, we nominate Kirsten to be the alternate.
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formatic, aye.
Newman, aye.
Ward aye.
Grant's and I.
All right. Next up, ratify the police collective bargaining agreement. Everybody had a chance to kind of look that over and see the changes that were made.
That's number 5 in your packet. We had an executive session at the last meeting, so we went over it. There are some highlighted areas in order to match the other bargaining units. There was a 3% COLA. It's a 2-year agreement, and Officer Picaro is here if there was any input. Couple adjustments on the vacation days, the shift differential going up 1% on the 2 different shifts. Clarifying some language with the 4 and 2 schedule on the sick days. Some clarification in the holidays and how that worked, and you could explain that one better, but clarification on days worked on the holidays or time off on the holidays. Yes. And then some adjustments down on the cancellation time on details, and including the memorandum of understanding formula into the agreement here for paid details. Also in Article 30, under the seniority, the last contract, they bought in some of the bridging of seniority. This would also apply to vacation time. Sterling, at least in the last 20 years or so, has not sent somebody through the academy, so the vast majority come from other departments. So this would help attract some folks. And then it's the updated wage schedule. So they signed off at the end of April. We had our meeting and signed off there, and now we would be here to ratify that for 2 years. Any input, Mike?
2 years.
Yes.
2 years. Okay.
What did I say? Oh, yeah, no, 2.
I have no input. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board has. I can just say that I'm thankful to Mr. Caldwell and Mr. Smith. I've done too many of these contracts in my time, and not one of them was easy. This one was
I'd like to echo that sentiment. They're very,
quite painless.
very amicable working with the police union.
They named that tune in 4 notes, I think, which was 4 meetings. And, you know, we had some back and forth a little bit, but the town was very accommodating. We appreciate that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer anything you have.
No, I'm good.
Otherwise, we thank
Anybody
you.
have any questions?
None.
All right.
I'd make a motion that we ratify the police collective bargaining agreement and sign off on it this evening.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formatic, aye.
Newman, aye.
Ward aye.
Grant's and I. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sign it, we can do that now. But
Absolutely.
2 originals here, so that way you can leave one.
Thank you again for, was it reformatted?
We all have to do it?
Yes, ma'am. Sign this one at this side, second one at that side.
Does that one page count?
Yes, please.
Kristen should go on top.
I didn't realize that there was only 3 lines until after the fact.
Just right here.
I didn't put you on top, sorry.
That's all right.
Rude.
Can I get fired?
See, just
Just one, dude.
Damn it.
So are we supposed to sign on?
No, that's the union.
Okay, that's all we need.
Just sign.
Oh, underneath, got it.
Get a couple more lines next time.
You run out of ink?
Yeah, next person's problem.
Can I cross David out and sign my name up there?
Please do.
Yeah, exactly. White out.
Still make that.
Thank you.
Nose.
Perfect. I'll stay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
I'll scan and send you one.
Thanks for stopping by.
Please sign.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Next up. All right, next up, we're going to reappoint Leah Whiteman to the 3-year term as municipal representative for negotiations for school committee collective bargaining. Anyone who doesn't know Leah Whiteman, she is also the chair of the select board in Rutland. I can let everyone know that she does attend all of the meetings and then some, very knowledgeable. I myself have no problems with the reappointment. Anybody has any questions or comments?
Anybody that would raise their hands and re-up for that particular position?
Good luck to you.
When they have 11 different bargaining units.
Glutton for punishment.
High five to you, Leah.
So I would welcome that motion that we reappoint Leah Whiteman.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Smith, aye.
Formatic, aye.
Newman, aye?
Or nine.
Crampton, aye.
So just as a note, all the towns will have to vote on that, so that'll just eventually get relayed back to us that they all have supported that, so.
All right, next on our agenda is some election ballot questions. So I had my open hours last week at the senior center, and I had a gentleman ask some questions about the question number 2 on the ballot regarding the DPW building. So we did, a lot of people were under the impression that because it failed at the ballot box that we weren't moving forward at all on the project. But in our warrant that was voted on at the annual town meeting, that the Article 25 passed, and it was not subject to that ballot question passing, whereas the article for Sweat Hill was. So I think that there was some confusion because one needed that ballot question to pass and the other didn't. Also, we discussed it at our meeting, we've discussed it at a finance committee meeting, but we understand that, we had 500 people come to town meeting, over 700 people voting, at the ballot. So it's a lot of people that probably don't tune into us because we're not that exciting, that probably were a little bit confused. So just an apology that, there was that confusion. I think in the future, we can maybe do a better job explaining it. I know when we got to the ballot at the end at 11:15, everyone just wanted to get the heck out of there. So there were really no questions at the time. But just want to make sure everyone knows that because it did pass, they are still moving forward with that design. We are going to be borrowing that money, And then.
And it is
if
only
in
the
fact-
$500,000.
Only $500,000, yes.
not
This is not the
any
full
larger
project.
project, yeah.
So I think a lot of people at the ballot box thought that it was for the full project, with an amount attached to it that we don't really have, set in stone. So we are moving forward with the design. We are borrowing $500,000. It will either all be lumped in with the full project if that is approved at a future town meeting. If not, I believe we will be borrowing it, as you say, a 5-year. So we will be paying it back over 5 years. So it is a little bit of a hit to our budget. But that is what it is, since that did not pass at the ballot. So if anybody else has any questions or comments about that.
Nope, I believe you explained it quite well.
Anything you need to add, Bill? That's good. All right, so that is that. Any other questions, if anybody wants to come talk to
Actually
me?
had your husband come over and explain those
Yeah.
questions
Yes.
to people
Yep.
that could come ask me questions, and I'm like, I
Right.
don't know.
So yeah, any questions, I'm available, Bill's available, apparently my husband's available,
It wasn't
so,
no election.
And we do have the building committee, the DPW, there are plenty of people in town who are open and willing to have that discussion if anybody needs any further information on that. All right, moving along. Ratify the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, for those who do not know, with the dispatchers union for their part-time rates. So that was not in your binder, it was left. You got it in there.
Yeah, it wasn't in the original, we added it Monday, so I think there's a.
You should all have that there. So we did vote to move forward with regional dispatch at town meeting, but that is not going to happen immediately. So in the time being, we need to get our dispatchers, their part-time wages up to par with what's offered, in the surrounding area. So
This would just bring it up to match the full-timers. They have the same thing and requiremements, continuing education requirements annually. So this would just bring it up to the same as the full-timers for the year or so that we're in interim until we end up in a regional system.
anybody have any questions or comments? All right.
And that was also a fairly quick meeting, so it was easy to work with them.
I would welcome that motion that we ratify the Memorandum of Understanding with the Dispatchers Union.
So move.
Second,
All those in favor?
Formatic, aye.
Newman, aye?
Ward aye.
Grants and aye.
Thank you.
Very good. Bill, you're up.
So welcome to the new members.
Thank you.
Doors always open. Call, text, email, whatever you need to do. I'm around.
Except for tomorrow into,
I'm going to go to the snowy locations. Obviously, we're getting to the end of the year, so we have departmental transfers, which will come in July. That's to zero out any items that are overspent on certain budget items. That doesn't include snow and ice. We'll be closing out any grants that we have existing. Do have a couple, and then the one-stop program, we will be looking to see if there's anything new. Like many of the other state grants, there is the MBTA compliance, so we're kind of on hold right now, going after too much, just because we are not in we are in interim compliance, but that has to be decided one way or the other by the end of the calendar year. So we certainly don't want to take on a bunch of grants in the case that we do not pass MBTA zoning in town.
Are there many that you were hoping to go for that you're hesitant?
Nothing major this year, but I know Ryan was looking at one for the water department relative to their PFAS work, and I think Stephen was looking at something for the zoning that he's doing, but nothing too serious this year, but still that MBTA compliance is in the back of our minds going for many other things. So ones that finish the end of this fiscal year have been really helpful because we're still in interim compliance. Those moving forward, we'd kind of have to wait and see or hold off on applying until the future years.
Is there any movement after speaking to legal?
Yeah, I know there were 6 or 8 towns, it may have grown, that were filing suits. So the burden is obviously on them for various different arguments that they're making against it. I haven't heard anything recently for updates. I think it was May 1st that they were having a joint hearing and kind of combining the cases. So at this point, I haven't heard much. So the Sweat Hill and DPW facility, those items did move forward. I did want to thank the Lake Association for getting their information out and also inviting us to their annual meeting over the weekend. The next DPW board, DPW facility meeting is tomorrow. I think Blaine and David could explain, probably moving forward with the items of what's our timeline, where are we going now that things have passed at town meeting. We did start the interviews for the executive assistant position. Someone's leaving us.
Yeah, that's crap.
She seems really upset about it.
Call follow.
So Kirsten and I had a couple interviews yesterday. Maureen and I have a couple next week, and Patricia has volunteered for the 3rd set, so we're trying to screen through. We'll probably have 2 rounds of interviews total. Once we have our group of finalists, obviously that is a very important position in the town, so see where we land relative to that. A strong pool of candidates we have, though. Part-time animal control officer's been posted. We did get the renewal paperwork for the fair insurance, held the fair safety meeting, so I've been working on getting the renewal paperwork back. Have a few other items that we have to before we can send it over to them. Get an idea and also some ideas and potential changes that the fair committee may look at in the future. Upcoming meeting with a couple towns on the building commissioner IMA. Currently Sterling shares a building commissioner with Boylston and West Boylston. There is a potential for another town to enter in, so we would, instead of divide it by 3, divide it by 4 and add in their part-time inspectors as well. So that would give us, for the same amount of money, decent coverage and also share the burden, as every town is struggling getting a building commissioner.
That's not going to overtax him at all?
Not with the other folks that are available. And that would also save on the benefits piece because the vast majority, well, beside Tony, the other ones are retired, so they don't need additional benefit plans. I'm going to start working on the dispatch regionalization over the next year. That will have to be an item that's bargained, and also looking at all the turnover and switchover items. In the coming meetings, we'll have to look at when we're going to get to a letter of intent with them. So those are the major items. The platform that the website is currently on is expiring at the end of the calendar year, into January, so we'll have to update that. That'll be a fairly large project, moving everything over. And also Sterling Takeover Day at the Woosocks will be the end of July, 7/29, and the charity beneficiary would be SLCT. So, and then as we get closer to 7/1, we'll work on the borrowing post-town meeting items. So, then some of the ARPA and capital projects from last year, we're going to continue on and then start the new ones that were approved at town meeting.
Very good. Anybody have any questions for Bill?
Yes, what was the date of the Woosocks again?
7/29.
Okay.
Recreation Department posted something about that today.
Yeah. Oh, did they? I missed it.
I saw it like just before coming here.
Okay.
You're singing, right, Ron?
You don't want me to sing. I'll do karaoke, but,
Okay. I'll have them hook that up.
okay, I'll do that.
The kid that sang last year was fabulous. He was from town.
Yeah, I was there.
Don't
And of
forget our
course,
2
Kyle.
town employees.
Hey, I didn't finish.
There won't be 2 town employees this time.
Maybe one could be coerced into coming back momentarily.
Tom and Vicky did the
7th inning stretch.
Oh, fun.
yeah.
They could do a rendition here if you really.
Give us a little, well, like,
Take
you
me
know,
out to the ball game?
American Idol here. Let's go.
He's saying God bless America.
Very nicely, I might add.
That's a Tuesday night, by the way. I thought it was going to be a weekend, but
Okay.
I looked it up.
Can we take the senior bus?
You can.
I'm not old enough.
All right. On that note, did you have anything? Bill mentioned you may have something on DPW or anything else.
I don't have anything on the DPW. We have our meeting tomorrow night. Thankful the town moved forward with providing the funds to get our design going. So until we get Weston and Sampson 100% on board, we won't really have a schedule. But we're moving.
And need to get the OPM on board.
Correct. We need to advertise for that. But I think Weston and Sampson is going to take care of that as part of their contract.
Some of it's majority of them.
The only thing I would like to add is to the new board members, if you're not aware of this, the select board sponsors an employee appreciation luncheon, which is coming up on June 17th. Is that correct? We hold it at the fire station. They graciously host us. Public Works crew sets up all the tables and chairs. It's quite an event. It was well attended last year. We ran out of food.
Squeaked by.
Yeah, we just squeaked by. So if you're able to attend, that would be very nice. Vicky does the cooking.
I'm on vacation that week.
Thought you had somebody to take over.
Otherwise, I'd be happy to.
Maureen, did you have anything to add?
Of course.
I figured.
Come on. Yeah, just want to remind everybody that the Memorial Day Parade is this Monday, the 26th, 11 o'clock at Hillside. They're also looking for people to help out putting up the flags. Last couple of years, we lost a few of the people that actually did take care of that. So if you're interested in helping out with that, they're meeting at Hillside at 8 a.m. to do those flags. And also, Bill mentioned it, but thank you to the East Lake West Shakeham for inviting us all to dinner the other night and giving us updates on what they're doing at the lake and for the lake. And they're very appreciative of the support that they get from the townspeople at town meeting every year. So, I do have a question though.
Sure.
Where are we on the scholarships?
So Roy, Mark, and I met on Monday. We chose our 3 winners for the scholarships. I've sent that information over to COMA, so we'll invite them to a future. Okay, very good.
Thanks for that. Huh? Good, thank you.
So the only thing I have is after this last election, we have a new member, someone who was on the Board of Health is now on the Board of Health again, but Alan Hoffman did not run again for his seat that he has held a total of about 40 years. So starting back in 1978 was his first time on the Board of Health, and he stayed on until 2004. And then after a little break, somebody had left the board, he filled in, and then ended up from 2011 until 2025. So I just really want to thank him for 40 years of service to the town. Like, that's pretty amazing. So definitely thank him for that. He did a great job and just very passionate about the work that he did for Sterling.
Yep. Yeah, we so often we forget to laud those people that have given us so much time over the years. But I think Alan has definitely beat out everybody with the 40, for sure.
One thing I neglected to mention was this is National Public Works Week.
You said that last time.
No, I made the proclamation. This is National Public Works Week. We're in the middle of it. So thank your public works professionals for the jobs that they do, please.
But I just want to mention for our next meeting, just something to think about in the next couple of weeks. Now that there's the 5 of us, we are liaisons to some of the other boards and committees in town. So if you wanted to kind of take a peek at those boards and committees, I think it's on the website, who we are liaisons to, and look at the schedule and see if anything interests you, fits your schedule. We can discuss that at our next meeting. That's the only thing I have. Anybody else? Anybody here for public session?
No, not Blaine.
Yes. I'd just like to congratulate everybody on becoming a 5-member board. I think it's should be interesting as to what you guys can accomplish. That would be the first thing. The second thing is, don't we have a joint meeting coming up with the DPW board?
Sometime in June, I think.
In June.
You guys are the first one.
Okay. All right, so I think we're talking about
All sorts of different things.
all
We
sorts
got
of
a lot of
different things. So
projects.
think
Downtown,
boy, here
It
we
would
go.
typically be Ryan's annual presentation for the select board, but we also wanted to invite the board because we, didn't get the downtown grant, so look at those items, what's going on with the facility and any other projects that we would both be collaborating.
Anything you guys might want to talk about, think about that, and we can talk about it. Thank you.
And Blaine, you're in charge of refreshments.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
All right.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Surprise us, Blake.
Okay.
If there is nothing else, I will welcome that final motion.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Dramatic guy.
Aye.
Warren's not.
Nice job.